Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mrs. Matheson. We're going to start Unit 8 and Notes 1. We're going to cover areas of parallelograms and triangles. So our learning targets today say I can calculate areas and perimeters of parallelograms and triangles. I can apply the trigonometric ratios and Pythagorean theorem to solve for bases and heights. So we're going to see trig ratios again. We're going to see Pythagorean theorem again. So if you don't remember those, you're going to make sure you go back in and watch some of those past videos we've done. All right, so let's talk about the area of a parallelogram. It is the product of a base and its height. All right, so area for a parallelogram is base times height. Base, just remember, is the whole length down here, and height is going to be here. Oh, there we go. Height. And notice that the slant is not the height. And sometimes our height occurs outside of our parallelogram, but that's okay because it's still telling us a perpendicular distance. So let's go ahead and look at our first one. It says find the perimeter and area of each parallelogram. All right, so let's determine, do I have a base, do I have a height? I do have a base and a height. The height needs to be perpendicular to the base. So I have a height here of 5, and I have a base of 10 because that 5 is perpendicular to this side, which is also 10. Okay, so let's start off with our perimeter. So we're just going to add up all the sides. So I have 2 sides that are worth 10 and 2 sides that are worth 4. And so that gives me 28 and then inches. Don't forget our labels. They're going to be really important again. Our area is our base times height. So 5 times our 10. So we get an area of 50 inches. And don't forget, area is squared. So wasn't too bad for that one. Okay, now looking here, I have my information for my perimeter. Let's start with that. So I have 2 sides that are 21 plus 2 sides that are 17, and I get 76 centimeters. Now I don't have a height for this. I have an unknown here, but if I look, I have a right triangle, and I know my hypotenuse, and I have one of my sides. So I'm going to go ahead and find my height. Oops, but 8 squared equals 17 squared. We're doing Pythagorean theorem here. So go ahead and pause the video until you can find that height. All right, you find that height, we get 15. That's perpendicular to our base of 21. So we take 15 times 21, and we're going to end up with 315 centimeters squared for our area. Okay, taking a look here at problem C, we are given our base, we're given our height, but we're asked for our perimeter. We need to find this slant distance here. Okay, so I'm going to leave C for you guys. I want you to go ahead and find that slant distance by using Pythagorean theorem. You don't know your hypotenuse. And then once you find that, go ahead and do our perimeter and do our area. Don't forget, that goes in our Schoology quiz. Okay, 2 says find the area of the parallelogram. This one says using special right triangles. Why do I know I need to use special right triangles? Well, I am missing my height, and I have a distance, or I mean an angle that's 45. So we're just finding our area. We have a base of 12, and we need to find our height. Notice I have a slant of 9 here, so that means my slant of 9 is here too. My 45, 45, 90 rules state if you're given your hypotenuse, you need to do what? If you're not sure, look it up. I'll pause the video. You pause the video. Have you gone back and looked yet? You're still waiting. If you have the hypotenuse and you need to find the leg, you need to divide by the square root of 2. So our height is 9 divided by square root of 2. But we can't leave a square root in the bottom, so we're going to times by square root of 2 on the top and the bottom. We get 9 square root of 2 over 2. So we can use that as our height, or we can convert that over to a decimal. I will accept either one for this time, so we can round that to 6.4. Okay, now we have a base and a height, so we have 12 times 6.4, and that's going to get us 76.8. There is no label, so we don't need to put one on, or we can take our 12 times our 9 square root of 2 divide by 2, and that is going to give us 54 square root of 2. Same thing for both of those. All right, so 2b asks us to again find the area. We're going to use special right triangles. Notice this time it is a 30 degrees. So it's a 30, 60, 90, and we need to find our height. We have our base of 32. Oops, 32. There we go. We just need to find our height. So we are given our short leg, and you need to find your long leg. So I'll tell you the rule this time. You take the long or short leg and you multiply it by square root of 3. I want you guys to go ahead and finish this one and give me the area. And I will take area with either square root or a decimal for a solution. It will be on your Schoology quiz. Okay, let's talk about area of a triangle. You guys all know area of a triangle. Base times height divided by 2, or it's 1/2 base times height. Again, your height is perpendicular to your base. All right, so just like in parallelograms, sometimes our height occurs outside of our triangle. Keep that in mind, such as in this problem. We have a base and a height. We have actually a lot going on here. Remember, our height is perpendicular to our base, so our height is going to be our 30, and see, it goes perpendicular to this part here. Now, when we talk about perimeter and area of each triangle, we are actually talking about the shaded triangle. So it's perpendicular to the 19. So the base is 19. We have enough information for our area, so let's take base times height, divide by 2. Don't forget this one's going to have a label with it. We get 285. Again, we're seeing inches and squared. Now, we are missing some very important information for our perimeter. We need to find that distance. Well, what kind of a shape is the dotted triangle on the outside? It's a right triangle. We don't know if it's 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90, so we can't use those rules. But we can use our Pythagorean theorem. So find 27 squared plus 30 squared equals x squared. So see what we get. Let's round it to 1 decimal place. 40 point, what is that going to round to? 4. All right, so we are going to take 40.4 plus our 41 plus our 19. That gives us a perimeter of 100.4 inches. Okay, you guys get 3B all on your own. You need to make sure that you find your height. That is missing. If you're not sure what to do with it, go back and look at the last problem. It'll help you out. We have our base, and then pay attention, you are going to need to find that hypotenuse there. Okay, finish these up. We will pick up where these notes have left off when we come back to class together. See you guys then.